So here we go. This is part 2, and we're going to be doing a transplant here of the cassette baskets. What you'll need to do is take the front faceplate off, take the bottom plate off, because taking the bottom plate off or getting it loose will help with taking the front piece off. And then of course the plug plugs in over here. So we're gonna pull them out, and then we'll put it all together. I tested the other basket here, and I put lubrication on there. It's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna swap them out, and then I'll show you. We'll do a dissecting of the cassette housing, and I'll kind of show you what happens to them and why they fail. So the new one is now in place, and the only thing left to do is switch the doors. So we'll just simply pop it off. We'll just pull it off like that, and we'll take it off of the here. Easier when it's mounted. So let me change the doors, and then we'll be ready for testing. Change the door. We're ready to test. Okay, so I've already tested this cassette housing. I knew it was going to work, but I still do it because I'm doing it for you guys, doing it on camera so you guys can see that we now have a repaired unit. So this thing is now ready to go back together, because we're going to go ahead and sell it and put it up on eBay. So this is going to be on eBay. Some of my YouTubers already know that I sell my stuff on eBay, and my name is on eBay is Raymond's PCs, because when I started that channel, it was supposed to be specifically for computers, and then I got into repairing the beta machines, and I just continued to use that name because I've already got established quite a bit of feedback, you know, since I think I joined eBay like in 2008, I think. So, but then I canceled that account and created a new account. But anyway, so look for this on eBay, and my seller name is Raymond's PCs. So that's where you'll find my stuff at. So you can see how good it works now. So I'm very, very happy with this machine, very pleased with the machine. One thing that I did do last night is I did replace one of the capacitors for the motor drive, and even though that capacitor tested fine, because of it being a Elna capacitor, I changed it. I don't like Elna caps, because the Elna caps always go bad. I don't understand why Sony used Elnas, because I don't know, did Sony know that they had a problem with those ones? Or maybe they didn't know they had a problem with the Elnas. And but yeah, Sony uses them. Sanyo was another one that used them. Sony used them a lot more than Sanyo did, but Sanyo used Elna's as well, and maybe it was because Elna was a cheap capacitor that could be used. Maybe it cut the cost. Because cost is everything when you're building a product. When you're making something, you want to try to make it as cheap as you can so you can sell it at a good profit. However, I think that when you sell a product and you're making a product, you should use the best of the best. Now, Sony is the best of the best, but they use those really crappy capacitors. So what we'll do now is we'll go ahead and put this back together. And I do want to do another cleaning real quick. Just a real quick head clean, because I've already done all the tape path and everything. So the only thing I have to do is that. I would go into the power supply and replace caps, but I don't have the 47s. These are 16s at 47, most of the caps in that power supply, and I just ran out of my 16 at 47. So I just ran out of them, and I have to reorder them. Now, I know what you're saying. Why would you replace the caps in the power supply if they don't need it? Because it's preventive maintenance. This is a refurbished machine. Refurbished means that all the components have been gone through and replaced any of the bad stuff. So and you do other stuff like replacing things that don't even need replaced, but you do it anyway because you don't want these to fail later on down the road. There's a difference between repairing a unit and refurbishing it. Refurbishing is not only repairing it, but doing other things to it to make sure that it doesn't fail later on down the road. You see what I'm trying to say? That's what I'm trying to say. I just want to make sure that this thing is going to work for a long time. You know, and the only one I did was just replaced this Elna capacitor. And that was the only one that I replaced. And that one's for the motor drive. And here's for you've got your drum servo and your capstan servo over here. You've got your audio board. You got your servo board. The tuner board. And I think this might be the video over there. But the thing I like about Sony is Sony will mark things. Sony marks all their boards. You know, okay, drum, so that controls the head drum. Cap stands for capstan, so that controls the capstan. Servo controls the speed of the capstan and the drum. Servo is what controls the speed. Motor drive, well, that could mean the drive for the take-up supply reels. It could mean the you can control other areas such as the motors for loading and unload the cassette housing, a motor for threading and unthreading the cassette around the drum. So anyway, so yeah, that's the situation. So we're gonna put it all back together. We're gonna put this back into that donor machine, because this thing works partially. It'll come out just fine, but going in it has an issue. So we can just put that on the parts deck, but that machine works. but you have to have a remote because it's an SL340, if you're wondering. There's something going on with the circuit board that controls the front buttons are not working right, because you'll hit play and it'll eject, or you hit record and it'll play. There's something going on with the circuits. So in order for me to make that one sellable, I'll have to get another SL340 or an SL390, which both of them have the same front circuit boards. So we won't be ending this video right away. We're gonna be dissecting a cassette basket and show you some of the things that happen, and show you why it fails. She's now all put back together. So, and I cleaned the inside of it as well. Cleaned the tape path again. So, as you'll notice that this thing takes it, and it puts it all the way down without any issues. Very good picture. Very good. Superior picture quality. Definitely way better than VHS. Beta was definitely better. There's Heathcliff, the movie. This is a very rare title too. You don't see this movie very often on eBay. So this one is kind of a rare tape. But this tape is in really good condition. It's except for the little bit of damage to the side of the cardboard sleeve, the tape is in mint condition. There's no bad spots, no dropouts, or nothing on the tape, because it's I think this was not watched that much at all. It probably didn't have a whole lot of use, because it's really just the quality of the picture. It's just outstanding. And so let's go ahead and we're going to take it out and see how nice it goes in and out now. So now we'll take a look and we'll show you what happens to these things and why they fail. Well, hello guys. We're gonna take a look at the cassette basket here, and I'll start showing you some of the problems with these. And one of the issues that these have are the little posts. They break off. So let me show you close up. Yeah, so this one I've got kind of disassembled, so you can see kind of the mechanics and the workings of this cassette housing. A lot of times what happens with these ones, this one's got a busted post. This was the original one that came out of that machine that I took all the time to get the old grease off and re-greased everything, and when I went to put it back in and I put a tape in, and the guide post broke off. So what happens is these plastic guide posts, they break. This side is where it's broke. You can see that the post is completely sheared off, and there's no way of saving it. What also happens on these sometimes is the gears will crack. So a gear cracks and you're pretty well, you know, not able to repair it unless you have a another gear, as you can see. So it's usually the bigger gear that splits. Also, sometimes these this gear assembly, sometimes they can have issues, but the main issue is the guide posts that shear off because the plastic is just getting very brittle. This piece right here, this plastic piece, pushes down. When the tape goes in, this plastic piece pushes down, which releases the catches for the tray and allows it to travel up and down. As you can see how it's traveling up and down here. Okay, so that's what happened. So what I could do with this one is put, you know, find another one that has the posts are still in good shape. So the only way to fix these cassette housings is if you've got another one that you can take parts off to fix this one. So, and there's usually gears, and I'll show you. They also have, so this is what they look like before we disassembled it. So what I've done here is took the plate off, took the two cam gears off, which exposes the guts. And that's what happens. So the main reason the guide posts break. Second reason is one of the gears, it's typically one of the bigger gears, that cracks because they got a spring inside of them. I don't know about this side, but I know the other side has a metal spring, and that can cause the gear to break because the gear is made out of plastic that has become old and brittle, and it doesn't take much for the plastic to start breaking on them. So, and then another thing that can sometimes happen is sometimes these motors will fail. But that's pretty rare that they do, but I have seen them fail. As you can see, the two gears, so you can see what it looks like without those gears on there. Now it's also got a little arm on here that rides across. So I'm talking about this little piece back here. This little piece back here lifts up and down when it's going in and out. So, and that's what's happened. So with this particular one, you know, this one is just having, this doesn't have, the posts are not broken on this one, but there is an issue with one of the gears, and I think this gear is the one that's actually got a crack on it, is this one. And they crack, because remember I said that this bar here sometimes has trouble. Because, yeah, sometimes the gear breaks on the little one, it cracks. And then it won't go down all the way without help. Or it'll get halfway up and then it won't be able to finish coming out. Or sometimes with those guide posts, when the guide post breaks, one side lifts and the other side doesn't. So then you got a tape in there that's crooked. So that's what can happen on these, and that's gonna end the video. And so I've already showed you what goes bad on them and what happens to them, and we'll maybe do another video at one time where we'll do an in-depth teardown and reassembly on the 711B3 chassis cassette housing, because this cassette housing for the 711B3 always fails. They're always broken. I always find one of them that's got a busted up, messed up mechanism for the cassette housing. So anyway, see you in the next video. Bye bye.